Hello everyone, it's me Bradley Q, just here to talk again, and today I wanted to go over the new announcement for City Skylines 2 and and just kind of what my thoughts are about the announcement and also just the general state of the game going forward. So the announcement and what was released, if you're on the City Skylines community, you've probably already seen the trailer for it, and or the blog post that talks about what it is. And if you're in the City Skylines 2 community already, then you probably also know that it's been very poorly received so far. And that's why that is. I'll just break down what's going on. Official title here is on the blog post for the Paradox community page is Beach Properties Asset Pack and Modding Wavelet Patch Announcement. So the first thing in this announcement is that they're now going to be releasing the Beach Properties Asset Pack for purchase. This pack is something that was supposed to come out actually a lot earlier, and was promised and was actually specifically promised as a reward for people who bought the Ultimate Edition. And what this patch has introduces a new waterfront zoning type, which is apparently dedicated to waterfront buildings. Now, I'm actually kind of curious about this zoning type, because it says that it's a type dedicated to waterfront buildings. However, it doesn't actually say. However, when it just says waterfront, it doesn't say if these buildings. These are buildings that it doesn't say if these buildings actually extend onto the side of like the water, like, or if the buildings are just a general form of residential building that you'd usually see in like front areas. Now looking at some of the assets in the preview, then it does look like it's probably just a subtype of residential zoning with no actual interactions with no actual or direct interaction with the water. Because they say that they say that all the assets included there's 70 assets. We have 10 North American residential buildings with 3 levels, so 30 assets in total. 10 European residential buildings with 3 levels, 30 assets in total. 6 signature buildings, and 4 new trees. Specifically, these trees are palm trees. And I wouldn't say. So here's the thing. I don't really have a problem with them just introducing new zone types or just new types of sort of cosmetic assets here. Technically this thing, but here's the thing. Is this pack going to be the only way we can actually get palm trees in the game? Because you'd think, because like, yeah, I get it, it's a company, they can say what they want, but how are you supposed to make any sort of tropical map without palm trees? and we didn't have to buy like a content creator pack to get palm trees in the first game. It I know I know that there's a lot of things that that were that were pay that you have to pay to get in the first game that you can get for free in CS2, but you didn't have to pay to get palm trees. And I'm pretty sure there were more than 4 of them. But so I'd say that's probably my largest annoyance. That's probably the one significant annoyance I have with this pack, with this thing right now. And you might have heard a little bit more. So the reception to this announcement has been fairly negative for a bunch of reasons. One thing is that the game is not really in a good state right now. It's still got a lot of bugs. Some performance is still pretty bad, and like I'm really barely playing this game anymore just because it can cause some serious like heating on my computer, so I'm just honestly kind of nervous about playing it long stretches at a time. And there's also a bunch of mechanics. There's also, of course, a bunch of mechanics in the base game that don't really work out well. Like, as you can see here, like where they have where they have all the commercial subtypes that will just, you have no control over which will pop in when you zone, and that can frequently lead to problems. Like a somewhat minor one here is that I'm having gas stations pop up on a pedestrian street. Granted, there's nothing necessarily stopping cars from going on a pedestrian-only street, but they're not supposed to be prioritized there. And just a lot of people are unhappy that Paradox is letting out paid content at a time where they feel that there should be a complete only focus, that they shouldn't be doing any work on this and should still be focusing all that effort just on making bug fixes and the lights. Now here is my take. I just don't really have a problem with them releasing DLC. Like, yeah, it's yeah, I'm not going to buy it, but you don't have to buy it. But I don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it either. You just just to be clear, I am not buying it right now. Like the game just until the game is more stable, then I just don't see why. And so there's some more stuff in the announcement that actually is kind of good. One thing, we just got our first. One thing, what we've learned is that apparently, when this patch comes out, they're going to be releasing the new Paradox mods. Going to be releasing Paradox mods for the first time. Currently they're going to have code mods and custom maps supported. Apparently the asset editor is still having a lot of problems, so they can't release that right now. And so this is actually kind of a big thing because a lot of people because a lot of people want mods. That so this game, this game is basically lacking a lot of functionality that was in the original that was that wasn't present in CS and Sea Skylines 1 either. And well, in Sea Skylines 2, you had the Steam Workshop, and that could help, and that sort of helped paper over a bunch of the problems. With this game, however, with this game, you don't actually have that option. So, right now the only way to get mods is to download them through Thunderstore, which is a sort of a third party. It is kind of a third party site. Thunderstore isn't necessarily bad, but it's not necessarily. It's not as convenient or reliable to use as a Steam Workshop was. So it is pretty good. I do think it is pretty good that they're finally getting along to adding in the Paradox mod editor. It would be well, of course, it would be a lot better if we didn't have to wait like this long for it to come out, but it's still good that it's here. So I guess, I'm not sure how many people that's actually going to like bring back, but it's a start. So, okay, so this is what happened there. Now here's the part of like the announcement that's probably fairly small, but it's honestly it's probably what I'm the most interested in so far. Apparently this patch, according to they mentioned this patch, that there's going to be updates and fixes. Along with these properties, there will also be a substantial amount of performance updates and general fixes and improvements. We hope to see much improvement in performance, especially on lower end spec computers. The full patch notes will be posted along with the release of these properties on the 25th. And this is is by far what I'm most interested in, because performance is definitely my biggest problem with the game right now. Don't get me wrong, there is a lot of issues. Trust me, there is a lot of issues with this that this game needs to fix there, such as the simulation bugs and just a lot of and all of the just random glitches with the economy. But performance is easily the biggest concern here. clear for me because this game runs super because the game isn't that bad at right now when it's just a really small village, but it slows down a lot, and not only does it slow down, the frame rate will just get super janky. I'm okay if you don't need it to be too high. I'm okay with just having it set to 30 FPS most of the time, but it can't even do that. Like I have a city of about 32k population, and it basically has a frame rate drop every time I turn my camera, and even more than that, there's the issue with like the game's heat. I don't have a single game that runs as hot as this game, even with all the graphics settings turned down as low as they can. Like I'm just going to pull up a graphics here. I have my current heat at this second is 82.3 degrees Celsius. and the average that currently the average is bouncing around, but it's somewhere around 85.4. Minimum is the minimum was 82.1, and the maximum is 90.3. This is on a city of like 7,000 people. It's not, and it would be sort of acceptable if this sort of went down, if this was on a really huge city, but this thing here is this is tiny. There should not be any heating issues with this game on a city that has like less population than it's barely got the population of like a small American exurb. And so, really, I can't play this game very much anymore. Like I can really. Usually, I'm only playing it for like 20 to 30 minutes at a time because I'm honestly kind of worried about the heating effects it might have. and if they can, until they actually fix that, until they actually make a very, very significant decrease to the like computer stress and stuff, then I can't really, then it's just not worth it to like play this game. Then I just really can't play this game that regularly. So I'm going to be especially interested in how any work they make on that goes, because if they do actually manage to substantially reduce the heat stress, then honestly I'd play this game a lot more. Yep, so yeah, so, and I guess it's a big question, and I guess that's most of what I wanted to say here. Really, this is sort of like a this is sort of a warm-up for just a pre-discussion, because I don't know, none of us actually knows how well the game is going to run after the update. That's what actually matters. So I think it's probably a good point to stop here, and and I'll talk again when the update comes out and we can see how much has actually changed. I'll see everyone later.